everybody, and welcome to another of my how-to videos. And today, how to fit a Speedy sleeve. Now, if you're one of my regular viewers, you'll know what's going on. But if you've just come here for the first time, welcome anyway, and I'll give you a quick bit of background on where we're at. I'm currently restoring this 1953 AEC Militant tipper truck, and the restoration's going quite well. I'm currently working on the back axle set, which is this you can see here. As you can see, it's in quite a state. There's an awful lot of rust to be cleaned off and a bit of sorting out to be done, but it's also got 3 serious oil leaks from where the prop shaft flanges fit. You've got the 2 on the front axle here, and you can see where it's all stained around the shafts there, and the one at the back, again, you can see all the staining around it where the oil's been leaking out. Now, the cleaning the rust and that off, we've all done. We've got that sorted and it looks quite nice. We've just got to sort out our oil leaks now, and that's where the Speedy sleeves come in. So we've taken our prop flanges off and our oil seal housings, and we've got them here sitting on the workbench so we can have an investigate and see why we've got an oil leak in the first place. Now, if you imagine when it's fitted onto the wagon and you're driving along, the prop shaft is turning, so the flange is turning, and it's rotating with inside this seal housing, and the seal should seal on the edge of it and stop any oil leaking out. Now, if we have a closer look at our flange here, and we can see that shaft surface where it's meant to meet with the oil seal is in quite a bad state, and that's probably where the problem mainly is. So we'll give them a clean up and we'll have a look and see what we're going to do. As I said, I've got 3 of these to do on my restoration. And now they're cleaned up, we can have a better look. And as you can see there, all that corrosion, all that pitting is never going to seal and hold the oil in. That's the first flange. Here's the second one. That's quite just as bad. The third one's not too bad, but yeah, it's bad enough to make it leak. So we need to get a repair done on that one as well. So what can we do about it? Well, there's several ways you could do this. You could machine that off and fit an oversized seal. On the other hand, you could build it up with weld or a bit of metal spray and machine it back to the right size. That sort of thing needs a lot of specialist kit, and it takes a lot of time and money. There's a far more cost-effective solution, and that is fitting a Speedy sleeve. Now, I'm not advertising here, and I'm certainly not sponsored by anybody, but you can see what it says on the side of the box there. And I've got to give a shout out to Angela at the Dartford branch. She sorted out all the sleeves and the seals that I needed, and so on. So, what is a Speedy sleeve anyway? Well, its proper name is a shaft repair kit. And if I can get the box open here, we can have a look at it and see what we get in our repair kit. And you get the Speedy sleeve itself, which is this thin metal sleeve that you fit directly over your damaged shaft, and that gives you a nice smooth, perfectly polished running surface to fit your seal. You also get a little fitting tool, help you fit it, and a nice set of instructions of what to do. And we'll just put that to one side for a minute, keep it back in its box, keep it tidy. Also, in our box of goodies, we got some nice new oil seals to replace the ones from our housings that are, apart from being a bit old, are probably a bit torn up and damaged where they've been running on all that corrosion on the end of our shaft. So, first thing we've got to do is get that old seal out of there and get it replaced with the new one. Now these, quite easy. All you need is something to knock the seal out and just a few blows with the hammer and out it comes. Simple as that. And here's our old seal, and as you can see, there's a lot of corrosion on it, and the seal itself, well, it's gone hard for a start and brittle, so that's never going to seal even with our new Speedy sleeve fitted. So we need to clean this housing up then, get it all nice and polished, and ready for its new seal. So fast forward the video a little bit, and here we are with our 3 flanges and our seal housings, and they've all been cleaned and scrubbed and polished, and we're ready to go. Now you'll notice I've got 3 flanges here and only 2 seal housings, and there's a good reason for that, and I'll explain that bit later in the video. So let's get on with fitting our oil seal. Here's our shiny new oil seal. As you can see, the seal edge is quite flexible. You need to be sure you're getting it fitted the right way round. That spring side goes on the oil side and the flat top is on the outside. We need to put a little smear of grease around it, make sure it slides into our housing all right. Get that rubbed well in. Little smear inside the housing as well. Now, line our seal up then. Just push it down a bit to get it started, and then using soft face hammer, I've got a nylon mallet, very carefully tap the seal down into its housing. And you're walking it round the edge, tap knocking it in. You've got to be very careful though, you don't damage the edge of the seal or twist it and get it out of shape while you're tapping it in. There we go, a little bit more down there to get that in. And we're sorted. Quick check on it, make sure we haven't damaged it while we were hitting it in, and that's all looking good. Now then, here's a thought, and the reason why we're 1 seal housing missing. Let me take you back to your school days, and for some of us that was rather a long time ago. You can still remember doing science experiments, thermal expansion. Things get bigger when they get warmer. Everything expands when it gets hot. Now our missing flange, I've just spent the last half an hour sitting outside in the sun soaking up the rays. It's just a nice sunny day today. It's not stupidly hot, so low 20s, and that flange has been sitting there for about half an hour and it's nice and warm. So we bring it in back on the bench here. It's not too hot, you can still hold it in your hands, and we take our freshly greased seal and line it up, and we can just push that seal straight in with no more pressure with 2 thumbs, and it goes straight in, no hammering, no banging, no chance of damaging it, and there we go, there's our seal fitted. Perfect. Now we're down to the real point of the video then, fitting the actual Speedy sleeve itself. And the first thing to do is check it to make sure you've got the right size sleeve, and I must admit I got it wrong the first time and they were too small, and I had to go back and see the good Angela at Dartford and get them replaced. So the seal slides on, our fitting sleeve is going to fit over the top. Now you could press that down with a hydraulic press or something, but for most of us you're just going to be knocking it down with a hammer. But that fitting tool, that's not very thick either, so you've got to be a bit careful. I should just mention, while it's a good idea to warm the seal housing up to fit the seal in a bit easier, don't get any ideas about warming the Speedy sleeve up to fit that. It doesn't need it, and if you do try warming it up, all you'll do is damage the sleeve. Now, there's plenty of jokes in the world about getting a bigger hammer, but there is some truth to it. A little tiny ball peen like this, tapping on the top of that fitting tool, isn't going to push that sleeve on. It's just going to damage your fitting tool. You haven't got enough weight in it to give it a good impact, for want of a better word. Slightly bigger ball peen could be better. For myself, I prefer the lump hammer. It's probably a bit overkill for something this size, but it's also what you're comfortable with, and I like my lump hammer. Also, as I say, that fitting kit's quite thin, so you've got to be careful where you hit it. So rather than risking damaging it, I've got this piece of steel plate which I'm going to sit over the top to spread the impact and spread the load as I'm tapping it down. It's more important on a bigger sleeve than the smaller ones, because with the bigger one there's more chance of getting it twisted and damaging it while you're tapping it on. Now also the other thing to look at is what are you resting your thing on while you're tapping it on. Now my workbench here is quite solid, as you can see, but the top of it's only an old kitchen worktop, so it's quite bouncy, and that's going to absorb a lot of our impact. So the better thing to do is stand it on something solid, and I've got my bit of I-beam here that I use as an anvil, and that's going to provide the perfect surface, a good solid mount for tapping that seal on. So we'll take our flange, give it a quick last wipe over with some brake and clutch cleaner, make sure there's no dirt and what have you left on it. Let's give the inside of our Speedy Sleeve a quick wipe out, just to make sure there's nothing involved in that. And we're ready to go. Now, you need to put some kind of lubricant or something on the inside of your sleeve as you tap it on, and different people use different things. Some people I've seen using Loctite, some people just put a smear of grease on it. Myself, I prefer old school Hylamar, because you know it's going to seal it, and it's also going to provide a little bit of lubricant as the sleeve goes on. So, good smear of the Hylamar going on, get it rubbed right into all that corrosion and any other damage that's on there, and then move it down to the anvil and we're ready to fit our sleeve. So we sit the sleeve on, get it sort of somewhere near square, put our fitting tool on the top, and we get our little metal plate for spreading the load, and quite simply tap the sleeve on. You've got to be careful, bit of care when you're doing it, make sure you're not getting it on twisted, make sure it's going on straight, and just nice steady, don't need to beat 7 bells out of it, just got to keep tapping it. As I say, I like using the big heavy lump hammer, it gives you a nice impact without too much effort, and it's knocking that sleeve down all the way to the end. There we go, we're in. There's a little bit of damage on our fitting tool, but otherwise it's good. I've seen people get halfway down with the sleeve and they've completely mullered that fitting tool, and then they are having issues. But there we go. Just give that a quick clean up. And as you can see now, a nice smooth surface there, ready to fit on our seal. You can see that sleeve's a little bit longer than I actually need, and if it comes to it, I could grind that edge off, but I don't think that's going to cause me a problem. I think that's going to be okay as it is. Put a smear of grease around it and just try it, see how it fits in our oil seal. Carefully flip the oil seal over it, and there we go, a nice cozy fit, and that should stop our oil leak. And there we are, job done. And that is how you fit a Speedy Sleeve. Many thanks for watching then. Hope I've managed to impart a little bit of knowledge for you, and you're enlightened into the art of fitting a Speedy Sleeve. Maybe it's even give you the confidence to try doing one of your own. Now, if you've enjoyed the video, please tick the like box, and if you'd like to see more of it, or you're interested in seeing how the rest of the tipper restoration's going, well, the tipper's called Monty, by the way, do tick the subscribe box as well. Doesn't cost anything, and yeah, you'll get regular updates on what's going on and more videos like this one. Anyway, as I say, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.